All good. First of all, how is Matty Dolan? Have you had the results of the scan yet?
Yeah, it's good news all around. So, Matty he probably missed tomorrow, but he'll be available now for next week.
And what actually was it, Mike? Do you know?
Well, if you ask Matty, he's popped his Achilles, his calf, his hamstring, and his knee. Everything went wrong. So he's going to get a bit of a ribbon for that. But it was just a small grade 1 tear of his calf.
Right. Because, not just him, you feared the worst, didn't you, last week?
Yeah, there's still a few struggling for tomorrow. It's basically, we're not going to risk anybody at this stage of the season. So we've got to be very, very careful.
With that in mind then, how much did those who played on Tuesday, I know it was a long trip, we all know how long it was, but did they must have thought to you, well, actually, I've got a bit of depth in my squad now.
Yeah, look, it's like I said after the game, I was very proud of them. Nobody fancied us, apart from ourselves. And look, when they're called upon, they've got to be ready and they've got to be, good enough to keep their shirt.
And you've been rewarded with a home time, Mike. I must ask you about that. How about that then?
Well, I was expecting Norwich away, if I'm honest. We joked about it in their office afterwards, me and Paul Cook. So, yeah, I'm delighted. As soon as he pulled out our ball, I didn't really care who we had then. Yeah,
and you're home, which is... because it looks like that will be the first game back at Rodney Parade now.
Yeah. So good news all around on that front. Again, when you look at it, I think we've played now since I've been here. After the Southampton game, it'll be half the Premier League that we've played. It's 9 Premiership teams now, 10 games in total because the replay with Tottenham. So it's a half the Premier League we played, and we can't get out of League Two. So we got to liven up.
That says something, though, doesn't it? It's not just the luck of the draw. You earn these things. It's
an unbelievable record, the players and the staff, not just the players here now, because obviously they've not all been here through it. Everybody who's been involved in the journey. It's a massive. It's a massive achievement. Look, like I said, it's half the Premier League. You tell me many more managers outside the Championship even that have played against 10 Premier League clubs.
Yeah, quite. 4 years. But as you said, what you really want is to get out of this division.
Yeah, we've almost done it, but it's tough. It's tough over the course of the season, and it's going to be even tougher this year.
Will Mansfield be one of those making it really tough, Mike? Do you think they're going to be up there at the end?
Yeah, I think they will. Look, there's a whole, there's a list of teams that have spent big, strengthened well. You look at it, even the likes of Walsall, Port Vale, Leyton Orient, those 3 clubs have spent big. Then you've got the usual candidates. You've got the Bradfords, Mansfield, Salfords, Exeter's. They're all going to be there or thereabout. It's a real competitive, tough league this season.
You talk about your strength in depth. You Tom King left. You offered a new deal to Nick Townsend, and you brought back Joe Day. How strong would you say your goalkeeping department is now? Because some thought last season was really strong as well with Tom King there.
It was really strong with Tom. Tom would have wanted to play more than he did last season, but Nick was in superb form, and that's what they had. That's the beauty of having these two, and last season's too. That if one slightly comes off form a little bit, the other one's gonna come in and do just as good a job. And hopefully well, I know they will. They'll push each other.
And what about Joe Day? Has he returned a better goalkeeper than when he left, Mike?
Yeah, listen, at this level, I think Joe was the best keeper in the league when he left. And I think he still is now. So it's he's definitely improved. His kicking's improved. And he's that more experienced as well.
Because he didn't have it all his own way, did he? I mean, he went to Cardiff. It was a sort of life-changing move for him, but it didn't really work out. Got one opportunity, ironically, at Wigan, I think, against Paul Cook's side. And, you know, it just didn't work for no matter what happens. They had two other good goalkeepers, really good goalkeepers, and he's had to battle through all that as well.
Yeah, but listen, like I said, Joe's a top professional. He got on with his job, didn't go sulking around the place. He just got on with it, and that's what good professionals do. You wait for your opportunity, and if it don't come, then you know you tend to move on. And but whilst you're there and you're trying, you do everything in the right way.
Yeah. All the travelling, you know what's coming. You've talked about it before. How much is this midweek taken out of things, and how have you had to change your training and the sort of stuff you do off the field to cope with all the miles, even in the first week?
Yeah, we do. We came in a lot later Wednesday for the boys who didn't travel. You know, we wanted to still hit certain zone 5s and zone 6s, which is high intensity runs. We wanted to do them to prevent injuries going forward. So we had to get them in later, which is fine. Ironically, it's around about the time that you kick off anyway. So, you know, we're going to be used to it on Saturdays. It's you've got to adapt. You've got to do everything you can to give us the best opportunity, A, to get the results, and B, to minimise injuries.
Mm. And just finally, you know, Timmy Abraham got off the mark. He's made a few of them on Tuesday made really good impressions. Gives you something to think about.
Yeah, 100% it is. You know, like I said, there's still a couple struggling as well. So we'll have a look at it today, and we'll probably, myself and Wayne will speak over it, and we'll make a decision as late as we can tomorrow, if I'm honest.
Yeah. All the best, Mike.
Thanks, Rob. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Morning, Mike. The relief for Matty, it must be great because he's such an important figure. He showed that last season, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, listen, you know, when he first happened, you fear the worst, didn't you? Especially with what happened to Courtney Senior. Nobody around him. Totally innocuous. He's out for 9 months or 6 to 9 months. So it's yeah, you do fear the worst. But thankfully, it's not too bad.
So he's a bit of a drama queen, was he? Was that?
Yeah, well, wait till I see him.
Yeah, because obviously Priestley, you said, I presume he's still one of the doubts as well, isn't he? So you know, it is playing the long game as well, isn't it? With these,
it is. Look, we've had a very good start, but there's going to be ups and downs. I keep saying it. I say it every season. I'm not repeating myself. It is going to be ups and downs. End of. Going to hit form. Going to have some injuries. We're going to have long trips. We're going to lose form. It's the course of a season, and like we said, it's Newport County AFC, so nothing's going to be plain and simple.
On the injury front, Courtney Baker Richardson, because obviously he got injured before Oldham, didn't he? What's the sort of state of play with him?
He's still out.
Is he? Okay. Was that another training injury? Can you say what it was, or
no?
No. Oh, there we
go. The reason why, because I go on the opposition going forward, knowing how long he's out for. So, you know, it's things like that you're not going to get out of me, Chris.
Yeah, no problem. And it's not written on the board. It's not written on the board behind you either, so that's not helping me either.
For those reasons.
On one player who did play, Robbie Willmot, you come back into the fold. Versatility versatility can be a strength, can be a weakness at times. Where do you sort of see him fitting into your side?
Wherever I pick him.
Yeah. But
Whenever
last
he's
week,
needed.
yeah, because last week obviously you moved him to start sort of floating around, and he had a real impact when he moved to the left in the second half, didn't he? He's a good player, isn't he? And sort of finding delivery wise and creating chances.
You've been reading too many message boards again, Chris.
Yeah.
You've been reading too many message boards. He played in exactly the same position all game.
Was it?
You know, we just dominated the left more than we did on the right, and he's clever enough to know that's where the space was.
But having a clever player like that, it's sort of invaluable. That experience.
Look, he's come back. He's hungry. He's been superb in pre-season, and he earned his spot to play. Simple as that. He's been really good, and hopefully it continues, because he's that much more experienced as well. I think the move away always, sometimes shows you the grass ain't always greener, and it gives you a new lease of life. Because
the style you brought in last season, it should suit him. He's a good ball player, isn't he? So, but for whatever reason, it didn't happen first half. Probably because Scott Twine was doing so well, and other various reasons. But he's got a chance here, hasn't he, to sort of impact that? Yeah, he has. But
there's a lot of them who've got a chance in that position. You've got the likes of Flynn, who's getting closer and closer to full fitness. You've got Jermaine Hilton, who can play there. We've got a lot of options in those areas.
Finally for me, with Nigel Clough, it's going to be. Last season was a tough old game. I think Stephen Quinn was really influential, wasn't he? And they're just a good hard side, aren't they? Especially on their own patch. It's
going to be a difficult game. Like I said, I think Mansfield will be up there this season. Nigel's had a chance to bring in his own players now. So, yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough game.
Cheers, mate. I'll get onto Twitter and have a look at and see what shape you're going to play and all manner of things.
Yeah. See what I've done wrong again.
Always. Good stuff. See you tomorrow.
Cheers, Chris.
Morning, Mike.
Hi,
I have to admit, I haven't seen anything of the first two games, but delighted with the results. But also delighted that you telling us this morning that we're going to be on a roller coaster once again.
Well, would you expect anything else, Rob?
No, but I mean, I guess that's the nature of the beast in this division, is it?
Of course it is. It's nothing. You probably look at Bolton last season. Around about Christmas time, they would have thought the world was ending, and they wanted the manager gone, and all sorts. The players weren't fit to wear the shirts, and then something clicks. They get together, they get promoted. Manager's the best manager they've had in years. Players are amazingly, proud to wear the shirt, and the fans love everything again. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, apart from Phillips and Kerwin, I don't think anyone's called for your head in the last couple of years.
Nah, I know my mate Rob would never do that. Chris would. Chris would, but yeah, Rob will.
I guess this is what, your third or fourth team now? You just have to keep on reinventing things, don't you?
Yeah, probably if you include the January last season, that was twice last year.
Yeah,
that we had to rebuild. It's tough, but look, it is what it is. It's not easy. You're not always going to get it right. Like I said, there's players I've missed out on because of finances. Players I've missed out on because of location. It happens. There's players who've gone higher, played in the higher division. So yeah, it's never easy, rebuilding all the time.
Are you going to be active in the loan market in the final few weeks, or is there anything still to come?
Not too sure at the minute. There might be one or two. There's probably one to go out. And look, we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, because you've had such a market impact on a number of players down the years, and Ben White is now a £50 million player at Arsenal.
Yeah, look, he's. I said as soon as he came, though, he's he was an unbelievable. He is an unbelievable talent. But anybody could see that. It only took a training game to see how good Ben was. It wasn't that he had everything. He had the whole mentality, the attitude, off the pitch, on the pitch. He just ticked all the boxes. He was even good looking, wasn't he? Let's be honest. So he wasn't missing nothing.
But you must feel proud that you've played a small part in his development.
Of course it is. Always get told success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. So I'm just one small part of Ben's success. His family, his school teachers, his coaches at Brighton, his coaches at Southampton, Peterborough, Leeds, and what we've done for him as well. So his friends, everybody has played a part, but most importantly, Ben deserves it, because Ben is the one that has handled all the pressure. He's the one that's kept disciplined, and he's the one who's wanted to improve day in, day out. So he's a credit.
And it shows the value of the loan system too, doesn't it? That you can play in real football is what it's all about.
Yeah, of course it is. It's getting out there and, having the pressures of the fans on your back, whether it's the opposition fans or the home fans, getting used to playing in competitive matches where results are everything. It's no substitute.
So can he maybe take Arsenal above the likes of Liverpool or whatever this season?
I can't see that happening, no. You're not questioning my loyalties here. I fancy, it's going to be a tough Premier League. I think top four, you've got to have a look at Chelsea, Man United, Man City and Liverpool. So it's going to be tough. I can't see anybody else breaking that far.
No. Great. Good. Great to see you. Best of luck the weekend.
Cheers, Rob.
Hi, Mike. How you doing? Kevin Ellison obviously scored a winning goal against Oldham. How pleasing is it to still have his services this season, and obviously the character he brings to the team?
Yeah, he's a great lad, Kevin. He's somebody I've known for a long time. I knew what he'd bring, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. And again, he's a credit to himself. He's looked after himself. He's always kept positive when he's had tough times as well. And he's somebody who I've got a lot of admiration for.
Also as well, against Ipswich, you were able to give opportunities to the likes of Joe Woodward and Aaron Livermore from the academy. How good is that to see some players coming through? Yeah,
and look, what we've done with the development team squad, it's not where we want it to be at the minute. But you look at that, where you're able to get the likes of Jordan Greenidge, Louis Hall, and Joe Woodward into that. So it's a positive start. Long way to go, but I was very, very impressed with him, and I thought young and Nairn was after the first 5 minutes. For the next 40 minutes, I thought he was excellent, and as they all were. But it was very, very pleasing to see.
You obviously made 11 changes as well. You said last week, you hope you've got the squad that has enough in it to challenge this year. Now, are you a little bit more confident in your squad after 2 games?
Listen, if you'll know me, when you get to see more of me, I'm not getting carried away after 2 games. It's a long slog, and it's going to be a tough old season. So let's just hope that we keep doing the things that we can do well, cut out mistakes, and we'll be all right.
A word on Podrick Hammond, who's left this week.
I'm not speaking about Podge no more. I've done all that Tuesday.
Okay. What about Finn Azaz, a player who played regularly for Cheltenham last year, promotion winner with them?
Yeah, he's nearing full fitness, and I'm looking forward to seeing him when he's fully fit, because he's a very exciting player. He showed glimpses of it Tuesday. So comfortable on the ball, good ball carrier, sees a pass. And obviously got the assist as well the other night.
Okay, great, thank you.
Cheers.